Robert, working with George Harrison was great. It was a real eye-opener for me and a real insight into the man. He was very dedicated and he taught me vocally lots of things, and also, you know, instrumentally we would talk through our guitars, a bit like I do with Keith nowadays, and I used to do with Bobby Womack. And George was a wonderful man to learn and exchange with.
Well, it's been a long time since I've seen you. You're looking good. Can't begin.
Well, Serena, Keith was stranded in London one night during 1974 in a club. To get out of there, he met my ex-wife there, and who he said, "How's Ronnie?" And she said, "Well, he's making an album at home." And he said, "Good, can I come with you, because I want to get out of this place." So Keith came over for one evening, and he stayed 4 months, where we were just exchanging and writing and bouncing off of each other. And we had a great adventure and really got to know each other really tight then.
Take a look at the guy who's standing in front of you. Take a look at the guy who was empty.
Hi Kenny. Yeah, Rod and I were sparring partners in the Faces at the time, and Rod was a bit agog about me making a solo album. He was going, "Why do you want to do that? You're a guitar player, you know, is it going to be instrumental?" And I said, "No, I'm going to sing, and I want you to help me on some background vocals," which hilariously enough he did on "If You Got to Make a Fool of Somebody" and "Take a Look at the Guy," and you know, various songs that we took from the I've Got My Own Album to do studio version. We played it live on stage at Kilburn. Yeah, so he was helpful to me to get me singing, you know.
I can feel the fire. I can feel the fire.
Hi Michael. Yeah, at the time of making I've Got My Own Album to do, 1974 was a real mad year, and you should have seen my house, the Wick in Richmond at the time. The house that Pete Townsend now owns, he was about the only guy who wasn't on the album at the time. My staircase used to be full of people from Greg Allman, Paul McCartney, there'd be Rick Gretsch, there'd be all queuing down the stairs to get in. I had my basic band of Willie Weeks and Andy Newmark and me and Keith in there. I mean, all these other people we'd let in, Jagger being one of them, he would come and help me, and David Bowie. I remember having Keith Moon and Ringo there one night, and no drum kit. It had gone away to be repaired, so I taught them all the chord of E, and I had the two maddest, greatest drummers in the world sitting around strumming the chord of E all night long. In the same sort of breath, I was writing a song called I Can Feel the Fire, and I was saying, "Mick, can you help me? I've got the verses," and blah, blah, blah. And he was helping me with the delivery, and he said, "Well, I've got this song called It's Only Rock and Roll. Can you help me with this?" And I'm going, "Yeah." So we already had the track down to I Can Feel the Fire. And he said, "Can we put the track down to It's Only Rock and Roll?" But we couldn't wake Andy Newmark up. He'd been up for days and days playing the weeks before. And so he was crashed out, and we couldn't wake him up at his London hotel. And it was a long way for him to get to Richmond. So Kenny Jones, we woke him up in the middle of the night. He said, "I'll come over and do it for you." So that's how we cut the basic track with Kenny Jones and Willie Weeks on bass. And me and David Bowie on background vocals, Mick singing the lead. Anyway, afterwards, the Stones took it to Island Studios, and Keith said to me, "I took the precaution of wiping all your guitars off, Ron, of the basic track." And I went, "Oh, you did? Well, you forgot one of them," and that was my 12-string, and that's still on. You can hear this 12-string in the background. But Keith was so hilarious, he thought he'd wiped all my guitars off and replaced them with his. Haha, but he didn't.
Up inside.